Good morning, my brothers and sisters. It is the 177th episode of Be With Me, 7 Minutes of Biblical Wonder. I'm going to change the title today. It's going to be 7 Minutes of Biblical Terror, because today we have one of the most clear, challenging passages about hell that I can think of. This teaches us more about hell than I can think of, and it calls us to action in a radical way today. So let's gird our loins for this passage. We are in Mark chapter 10, following the events of Jesus' life. Mark chapter 9. And this is Mark chapter 9, verse 42. I'm going to read it, and I want you to pay attention to what it teaches us about hell. I think this passage, more than any other, is the clearest passage on hell. And then secondly, how we're supposed to respond to it. So those are kind of the two big categories today. Verse 42 of Mark chapter 9. Whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him if a great millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea. And if your hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It's better for you to enter life crippled than with two hands to go to hell, to the unquenchable fire. And if your foot causes you to sin, cut it off. It is better for you to enter life lame than with 2 feet to be thrown into hell. And if your eye causes you to sin, tear it out. It is better for you to enter the kingdom of God with one eye than with 2 eyes to be thrown into hell, where their worm does not die and the fire is not quenched. So let's talk about hell just for a moment. It says here that rather than hell, you rather have a millstone hung around your neck and drown yourself rather than cause another to sin. You'd rather going to hell with one hand isn't worth it. 2 hands isn't worth it. 2 feet isn't worth it. 2 eyes isn't worth it. Being lame and crippled and blinded is not as bad as hell. We find out that worm does not die there, which sounds unpleasant, and the fire is not quenched. Unquenchable fire. The unquenchingness is mentioned twice, actually. The other thing is that when you are engaged in going to hell, the word that's used is to be thrown there. You're thrown into hell, and you go to hell, but no mention here or anywhere that I can think of is exit mentioned. You never hear anything about it being thrown out of hell or rescued from hell after you enter hell. Now there's a rescue before you get there. It's like that's the whole point of this passage and the whole Christian walk is, hey, let's not go there. I have heard the phrase, I don't believe in hell. Well, isn't that convenient? I think more accurate for most people is I don't want to believe in hell. Why? Because of this passage and others like it. All right, let's talk about ourselves and the other clear part of this passage, which is our radical attention to sin. The first verse stands a little bit apart from the other ones, and it says that whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin. So it's a person that is causing the sin of another, that we are punished for our actions as they spread out into others. I was thinking about a shock wave of sin, that our influence affects others, and then that influence is actually going to be judged here. So one of our responsibility is to watch our influence. And then these metaphors of these causes of sin, it talks about our hand, if our hand causes us to sin. And maybe that would be taking what is not yours. or holding what you cannot keep. We talked about that a few days ago. Or maybe failing to care for what you've been given. You've been put something that's been put in your hand. So that would be a way that our hands could cause us to sin. Well, how about our feet? Maybe that's to go where we should not go, heading in the wrong direction, or walking with those who you should not walk with. That's in Psalm number 1. Or following ones we should not follow. All right, well, how about the eye? Seeing what we should not see, movies, pornography, and then the pesky imagination of what we see inside our head. And I think we could probably go through other body parts, if you will, too. Well, how about your tongue? Does our tongue cause us to sin, or does our stomach cause us to sin, or maybe our lazy butt cause us to sin, or maybe our wayward heart? So when I ask the question of myself, why is this in the Bible? It's not really too big of a mystery in my mind. This is a warning. It's an education. First of all, what is hell like? Okay, very, very unpleasant, as we described. And then, should I know about this? Absolutely. This seems to be a pretty clear passage. But I think the big part of the passage is this assessment of our body parts and how they may be not cooperating, and this radical accounting that we need to do, and then kind of ongoing as well. I don't think if you just do it once, it's over. So assessing our blast zone as well. I think the call to believe in hell and to understand what are these teaching points about it. So there's a radical attention and activity here. We're amputating, we're tearing out, we're cutting, we're excising bad parts. So my prayer today for us is, that we could sit before this teaching and understand what hell is like and how much it is to be avoided, that certainly, and then to assess myself and my influence, and whatever is off kilter, amputate it, tear it out, excise it. Why? Because it's worth it.